The galaxy was in shock. Word spread faster than any fleet could travel. Humanity had not only defended itself, they had shown the Concord exactly what it meant to underestimate the people of Earth. Entire systems watched in awe as human ships appeared and disappeared, striking where no one thought possible. Ships previously considered untouchable were now drifting wreckage in the void, and no one could explain how humans had achieved such impossible feats. Yet, Earth did not seek conquest. Its fleets moved not with anger but with purpose. Every mission, every strike, every maneuver was precise. Humanity was teaching the galaxy a lesson, not through destruction alone, but through demonstration of skill, intelligence, and resilience. Admiral Saren of the Vekthar returned to command his fleet, still reeling from their losses. He had been proud of his forces, confident in the strength and strategy that had won countless campaigns. Now he faced an enemy unlike any other. Human ships moved unpredictably, using tactics that no AI system could anticipate, outthinking the Concord at every turn. The humans did not fight in formation or follow standard protocols. They adapted, learned, and improvised in real time. A strike group of 200 human ships intercepted a coalition fleet of over 5,000 vessels near the Persei cluster. The coalition expected an easy victory, confident in their numbers and firepower. The humans arrived quietly, appearing through folds in space that sensors could not detect. At first, the coalition opened fire, but nothing hit. The humans moved as if they were dancing with the stars, anticipating every attack, every countermeasure. Small groups of ships appeared behind the enemy, striking critical engines and weapon systems before vanishing again. Within minutes, the coalition fleet was in chaos, communication lines jammed and command structures collapsing. On Earth, Ambassador Leon Okafor watched from the Central Command Center. She did not cheer or celebrate. Instead, she observed, studied, and guided. Humanity was not fighting for revenge or dominance. They were fighting to show the galaxy that intelligence, courage, and unity were far stronger than arrogance and numbers. The first coalition fleet fell completely in 12 minutes. Not a single human ship was lost. News of the victory spread like wildfire. Some species, inspired by humanity's ingenuity, began sending envoys to Earth hoping to form alliances. Others retreated in fear, realizing how completely they had underestimated the human race. But humanity did not stop. Every fleet, every patrol, every weapon system was deployed with care. Humans moved like shadows across the galaxy, disabling aggressive fleets without causing unnecessary harm to civilians or inhabited worlds. They liberated planets previously oppressed or exploited by the Concord, broadcasting messages of freedom and cooperation wherever they went. The Galactic Council convened in emergency sessions. Leaders argued, pleaded, and demanded action. How could they control a species that did not follow the usual rules of warfare, diplomacy, or even physics as they knew it? Every suggestion failed. The humans were already several steps ahead. Admiral Saren realized painfully that this was not a battle of ships alone. It was a battle of ideas, of strategy, and of understanding. The humans were not just fighting, they were teaching. They were demonstrating that intelligence, adaptability, and resilience could overcome even the most overwhelming odds. Meanwhile, across the galaxy, humans worked quietly to rebuild alliances, repair damage, and establish communication with civilizations previously ignored by the Concord. They shared knowledge, offered protection, and showed that their power could be a force for creation as well as for defense. Ambassador Leon addressed the galaxy again, her image projected across thousands of worlds. Her voice was calm but filled with authority. "We told you we were holding back. You mistook our restraint for weakness. Now you see what it means when humanity stops apologizing for surviving. We do not seek war. We do not seek conquest. We seek balance, cooperation, and respect. The choice is yours. Adapt, learn, and thrive alongside us or be left behind." The council was silent. For the first time in recorded history, it faced a species it could not control, predict, or intimidate. Entire fleets that once ruled star systems now retreated, humbled by the lessons of Earth. The galaxy began to fracture. Some species joined humanity willingly, inspired by the courage and wisdom they saw. Others refused, but even they could not ignore the reality. Humans were no longer a minor power. They were the standard by which all others would be measured. In the outer rim, small patrols of human ships moved like shadows. Planets that had suffered under oppressive rule were freed with minimal conflict. Colonists sent messages of gratitude and hope. Humanity was not seeking glory. Every act was precise, deliberate, and purposeful. They were proving that restraint and intelligence, when combined with courage and ingenuity, could overcome even the greatest odds. Admiral Saren, observing the retreating fleets of the conquered, finally understood. The humans had not just won battles, they had changed the rules entirely. Strategy, technology, and experience were secondary to the human qualities that no AI, no council, no army could replicate: creativity, intuition, and the will to survive and thrive against impossible odds. As months passed, the galaxy adapted. Some fleets attempted new tactics, but nothing could match the unpredictability and resourcefulness of human forces. Diplomats approached Earth with caution and respect, recognizing that the age of underestimating humans was over. On Earth itself, life continued almost normally. Cities thrived, research continued, and new explorers prepared for missions that would take humanity even further into the stars. Humans did not gloat. They had proven their point, and now they prepared for the next challenge. They had shown the galaxy what they were capable of, but they also knew that vigilance, learning, and adaptation would always be necessary. Ambassador Leon spoke one final time before returning to her duties. "The galaxy has learned its lesson," she said. "Not because we sought to destroy it, but because we chose to defend what is ours with intelligence, courage, and creativity. Remember this: humanity is not limited by numbers, technology, or rules. We are limited only by our imagination, and our imagination is boundless, like stories of Earth's defiance spread across the galaxy. Children on distant planets grew up hearing tales of human ingenuity and bravery. Scientists studied human tactics. Philosophers debated human strategy, and leaders recognized that the era of underestimating Earth was over forever, and so, humanity remained vigilant. They did not rule the galaxy. They did not conquer planets. They simply existed as they always had, strong, intelligent, resilient, and ready for whatever the stars might throw at them next. The lesson was clear, and it resonated in every corner of the galaxy. Humans were not just survivors. They were teachers, innovators, and guardians of their own destiny, and the galaxy would never again forget that lesson. Earth had warned the galaxy, not once, not twice, but countless times. Humanity's leaders, scientists, and ambassadors had all sent their messages through the Galactic Council, speaking with calm but firm voices. "We are capable of more than you believe. Do not mistake our restraint for weakness." Each time they were met with laughter or polite dismissal. For centuries, humans had built, explored, and survived against every odd imaginable. Plagues, asteroid impacts, rogue AI rebellions, and hostile alien species had all tried to halt their progress. Every time humans adapted, they learned, they endured. And yet the galaxy, vast and confident, continued to see them as a minor power, barely advanced enough to cause concern. Ambassador Leon Okafor stood at the center of the Galactic Council chamber on the capital world of Erithos. Hundreds of representatives surrounded her, beings of every imaginable shape, color, and thought pattern. Some had hundreds of limbs, others floated in the air without wings, and a few radiated colors that humans could not even name. All of them had listened to her before, but this time, there was tension in the air. Leon raised her hand slightly and spoke, her voice carrying across the chamber, calm but piercing. "You have ignored our warnings for too long. You have laughed at our efforts and dismissed our innovations. You assume that peace is the same as weakness, that restraint means ignorance. That is your mistake." A tall insectoid counselor from the Vecthar Collective clicked its mandibles and spoke through a translator. "Earth speaks with pride, but your fleets are tiny. Your technology is primitive compared to our standards. You have little to offer beyond stubbornness and talk." Leon smiled faintly. "That is what you believe. We have never unleashed our full potential. You have never truly seen what humanity can do, and you may not live long enough to see it now." The chamber erupted into murmurs. Some beings whispered to each other in panic. Others laughed openly, but none of them could know that humanity was already preparing, not for war, not for revenge, but for the day when the galaxy would finally understand what Earth had been holding back. 3 months later, a small incident occurred at the edge of the human-controlled systems. A Vecthar patrol fleet had moved close to the newly colonized planet of Talnath 5, a mining colony rich in rare resources. The humans there had been careful. But tensions rose quickly when the Vecthar demanded compliance with regulations that the colonists did not accept. A brief exchange of fire ensued, but it was minor, a simple skirmish. The Galactic Council responded immediately. Orders were sent to Earth to withdraw, to surrender control, and to comply with Vecthar oversight. Humanity, however, made a decision that no one had expected. They went silent. Communications from Earth ceased. Trade routes were blocked. Satellites vanished from sensors. Entire colonies went dark. The galaxy assumed Earth had backed down, that the humans had submitted quietly to the Council's demands. Meanwhile, deep in orbit around Earth, human engineers worked in silence. Massive starships, cloaked and undetectable, were being prepared. Advanced weapons, banned for centuries by the Galactic Concord, were being activated. Artificial intelligence systems, far beyond anything the Council had allowed humans to develop, were online, learning, predicting, and preparing. Humans had not only survived the galaxy's scrutiny, they had thrived in secret. Then, the day came. The Vecthar flagship, a massive vessel bristling with weapons and shields, entered the Sol system with an arrogant confidence. Their mission was simple: pacify humanity, demonstrate the futility of resisting the Concord, and return with trophies of their victory. They expected compliance, submission, and perhaps a minor skirmish that would be remembered as a lesson for other planets. What they found instead was silence. Every sensor was jammed, every signal blocked. The Vecthar flagship transmitted messages demanding communication, demanding answers, demanding surrender. There was no response. Then a single broadcast appeared on all channels, reaching every ship, station, and colony within range. It was brief, but its tone was unmistakable. You told us to limit our potential. You told us peace meant weakness. You told us never to unleash our war machines again. You were right to fear us. Before the Vecthar could respond, a massive flash of light erupted from the orbital defenses of Earth. A weapon of unimaginable scale, a kinetic lance accelerated to near light speed, struck the flagship. In an instant, it was gone. Every sensor, every camera, every probe confirmed the impossible. The rest of the Vecthar fleet froze. Confusion rippled through their ranks. How could a single planet, considered primitive, have destroyed their flagship before it even had a chance to fire? The human response was not immediate retaliation. It was methodical, deliberate, terrifying in its precision. Ships emerged from nowhere, appearing through folds in space that the Galactic Council had long thought impossible. Human strike groups moved faster, smarter, and with a coordination that no AI in the galaxy could match. They did not seek conquest. They did not seek vengeance. They were here to demonstrate a simple truth. The galaxy had underestimated them. Within hours, every patrol, every reconnaissance ship, and every strategic station near Earth reported the same horrifying reality. Humanity had been preparing for this day for centuries. Their fleets were massive, their weapons far beyond what the Concord allowed, and their strategy was flawless. They did not fight like the galaxy's other races, relying solely on numbers or technology. Humans fought with creativity, instinct, and a level of adaptability that left even the most advanced AI fleet struggling to predict their moves. Admiral Saren, commander of the Vecthar forces, was stunned. For decades, he had led campaigns across dozens of star systems. He had never seen tactics like this. Ships appeared where they should not exist. Weapons fired with timing that seemed impossible, and yet no human ship was destroyed. Back on Earth, Ambassador Leon watched the operations from a secure command center. Her expression was calm, almost serene. She knew the galaxy would now begin to understand what she had been trying to convey for years. Humans were not weak. Humans were not limited by restraint. Humans were capable of anything, and they had chosen to hold back until the moment it counted. The first major battle ended in less than 12 minutes. Vecthar losses were catastrophic. Ships that had once been considered untouchable were reduced to debris. Survivors transmitted frantic messages back to their homeworlds, struggling to comprehend the reality. Humans had fought, and the galaxy had never seen anything like it. And yet, Earth did not celebrate. There were no parades, no trophies, no broadcast of victory. Humanity did what they had always done. They prepared for the next step. The galaxy had been warned. Now it would learn. Across the Concord, leaders met in emergency sessions. Panic spread faster than any fleet could move. Some species, seeing the power of humans, began to defect, seeking alliances with the planet they had so long dismissed. Others prepared for war, vowing never to underestimate Earth again. The Galactic Council, once so confident, faced a crisis unlike any in its history. For the first time, the galaxy understood a fundamental truth. Humans were not a threat because of their size, their technology, or their fleets. Humans were a threat because of their mind, their adaptability, and their refusal to accept limitations. In the dark void above Earth, ships moved silently, unseen and unrecorded. Humans were not conquering worlds, but they were showing their strength, reclaiming the respect that had been denied to them. Every movement was precise, calculated, and executed with skill that no alien race could match. Ambassador Leon knew this was only the beginning. The galaxy had ignored warnings for centuries, but now it would learn. Humanity had waited, watched, and planned. And when the moment arrived, the results were undeniable. The silence of Earth was not submission. It was preparation. The absence of communication was not fear. It was strategy. And the light of human innovation, courage, and resilience was about to shine brighter than any star the galaxy had ever seen. No one would ever underestimate humanity again.